There's a type of person who always seems to win. They don't shout. They don't beg. They don't even break a sweat. They just get what they want. Every single time. And you probably gave it to them without even realizing it. Let me tell you about Sarah. 32 years old, middle management, average salary. But 6 months ago, she walked into her CEO's office and walked out with a promotion 3 people were competing for, a 20% raise, and complete control over a department that wasn't even hiring. None of her competitors saw it coming. The CEO thought it was his idea. What Sarah used that day wasn't luck. It wasn't charm. It was something darker, something most people don't even know exists. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how she did it. More importantly, you'll know how to spot when someone's doing it to you. Because right now, in this very moment, someone is using these techniques on you, your boss, your colleague, maybe even your partner. And the worst part? You're letting them. The techniques I'm about to share come from a 500-year-old playbook written by a man who advised kings, manipulated armies, and orchestrated the rise and fall of empires without ever sitting on a throne himself. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli, and while everyone thinks they know what Machiavellian means, almost nobody actually understands what he taught. This isn't about being evil. It's about understanding the invisible game that's being played all around you. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Let's start with the first trick, the one Sarah used. It's called the illusion of choice. Here's how it works. Sarah didn't walk into that office and ask for the promotion. That would have been weak. Instead, she presented her CEO with 2 options. Option A, restructure the department with her leading a new team focused on expansion. Option B, keep things as they are, but bring her on as a strategic consultant for the next quarter. Notice what she did? Both options put her in power. Both options got her what she wanted. But her CEO felt like he was making the decision. This is psychological warfare at its finest. When you give someone a choice, their brain relaxes. They feel in control. But you've already rigged the game. They're just picking which version of your victory they prefer. Politicians use this every day. Salespeople live by it, and the people who control your life have mastered it. But here's where it gets interesting. The illusion of choice only works if you understand the second trick, strategic vulnerability. Most people think power means never showing weakness. Wrong, dead wrong. The most dangerous people in any room are the ones who know exactly when to look weak. Let me explain. 3 weeks before Sarah's big meeting, she made a mistake. Not a real mistake, a calculated one. She missed a deadline on a low-stakes project and immediately took responsibility in front of her CEO. She didn't make excuses. She didn't deflect. She owned it, apologized, and fixed it faster than anyone expected. What did this do? It made her appear honest, human, trustworthy. So when she walked into that office 3 weeks later with her 2 options, her CEO's guard was already down. He'd seen her be vulnerable. He'd seen her fail and recover. In his mind, she wasn't a threat. She was an asset. That's the magic of strategic vulnerability. You sacrifice a pawn to capture the queen. Now you might be thinking, this sounds manipulative. And you're right. It absolutely is. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Every conversation you've ever had involves some level of manipulation. Every single one. When you smile at someone to make them like you, that's manipulation. When you wait 3 hours to text someone back so you don't seem desperate, that's manipulation. When you dress a certain way for a job interview, that's manipulation. The only difference is most people do it unconsciously. Machiavellian thinkers do it on purpose. Which brings us to the third trick, and this one's dangerous. The mirror effect. People trust people who are like them. It's hardwired into our biology. So here's what the masters do. They become a mirror, not obviously, not creepily, but subtly. If you talk fast, they talk fast. If you lean back, they lean back. If you value family, suddenly they're talking about their kids. If you value ambition, they're telling stories about their biggest goals. This isn't fake, it's adaptation. Chameleons don't change colors because they're dishonest. They do it to survive. And in the social jungle, we all navigate every single day. Mirroring is survival. But here's the twist nobody tells you about. The mirror effect works in reverse. If you want to lead someone, you don't mirror them. You make them mirror you. You set the tone. You control the energy. You walk into a room with confidence, and suddenly everyone sits up straighter. You speak softly, and suddenly everyone leans in. You become the emotional center of gravity, and everyone else orbits around you. Sarah did this too. In every meeting leading up to her promotion, she was always the calmest person in the room. Not quiet, calm. There's a difference. When others panicked, she slowed down. When others raised their voices, she lowered hers. And without anyone realizing it, she became the standard. The temperature of the room bent to her will. Now let me show you how to defend yourself, because knowing these tricks means nothing if you can't spot them. First, watch for the illusion of choice in your own life. When someone presents you with two options, ask yourself, is there a third option they're not mentioning? When your boss says, you can either work late on this project or take the less important assignment, they're boxing you in. The third option? Negotiate the timeline, delegate, push back. The moment you accept their binary choice, you've already lost. Second, be wary of people who show you strategic vulnerability early in a relationship, especially if it feels performative. If someone shares a deep secret or admits a flaw within the first 3 conversations, ask yourself why. Real vulnerability builds slowly. Weaponized vulnerability comes fast and feels too perfect. Third, notice who you're mirroring. If you find yourself constantly adapting to someone else's energy, language, and values, you're being led. Not always maliciously, but you're being led. Reclaim your center. Speak at your own pace. Hold your own posture. See if they start mirroring you instead. But here's the final trick. The one that separates amateurs from masters. And this is what Sarah understood better than anyone else in that company. It's called the long game. Most people optimize for the moment. They want to win today's argument, today's negotiation, today's meeting. Machiavellian thinkers optimize for 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. They plant seeds you don't even see sprouting until it's too late. Sarah started positioning herself for that promotion 8 months before it was even available. She volunteered for projects that put her in front of executives. She built alliances with people in other departments. She slowly, carefully made herself indispensable. And when the opportunity finally opened up, she wasn't competing for it. She was the only logical choice. This is the difference between tactics and strategy. Tactics win battles. Strategy wins wars. And the people who truly understand Machiavellian thinking aren't thinking about today. They're thinking about the empire they're building one invisible brick at a time. So here's what I want you to do. Look at your life right now. Your job, your relationships, your goals. Ask yourself, am I playing the short game or the long game? Am I reacting to what's in front of me, or am I building something that will compound over time? Because the truth is, you're already playing the game. You've been playing it your whole life. The only question is whether you're playing to win, or whether you're letting someone else win with you as the prize. If this opened your eyes even a little bit, share it with one person who needs to see it. Someone who's been getting outmaneuvered at work. Someone who keeps ending up in relationships where they're always the one compromising. Someone who deserves to see the chessboard instead of just being a piece on it. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to understand the psychology behind influence, persuasion, and human behavior at a level most people never reach, then you need to subscribe to see what I found next, because what I just showed you is only the surface. The real game, the one played by billionaires, world leaders, and the people who shape culture itself, that's a whole other level, and I'm about to pull back the curtain on it. But for now, remember this: knowledge without action is just entertainment. So take one of these tricks, just one, and use it this week. Watch what happens. Watch how people respond. Watch how the game changes when you finally know the rules, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that changes everything.